Hello. It is time for the epic Root Tree finale. Well, hopefully it'll be epic. We're gonna decide once and for all who's a root tree and who isn't a root tree. Kate subscribed to 1 year. They've been subscribed for 16 months. Woo! Thank you. Love you. Those sneaky, sneaky root trees. Oi, 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 oi. Okay, so we thought we finished the game last time, and then they dropped a bomb that what's her face, Ruby Spratt, may have been tampering with the DNA results. And I thought about this after the stream yesterday, and when we get into the game, I will present my case. I'll present my case. I have a theory that maybe it might confirm at least one person. The girl, Courtney May, I think. Thank you, Civic. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. So I do have a theory. But yeah, so because of that, now we have to go through and kind of mark who we think is for sure a root tree, who it is like possible is a root tree, and then who is not. Okay. I'm sure we'll still be here trying to figure out the root trees, Rob. I'm sure we will. Okay. Let's hop right into it, because I feel like this might take a minute, because we're going to have to pour over... some things again. Okay. So, where we ended last time. Yeah, we have to confirm our research. Yep. Everyone's a suspect. Yes. Okay. So, where we left off last time is that we found out the identity of Anonymom. It was Beatrice Watts, who is also a secretary under Guy Hudson, the worst of the worst. So, and then we found out from her daughter, Courtney May Watts. She wrote this whole thing about how Beatrice had gone to Ruby Spratt, who you may remember is, I don't know if I have it in here anywhere, who is heading up the law company, the law firm that is handling the root tree stuff since the Clansid Trust like with the whole Clancy Trust stuff. They decided they couldn't really be Ruby Legal Enterprises, headed by Ruby Spratt. Yeah, boo, Guy Hudson. We hate him. If Guy Hudson has no haters, we're dead. So Courtney May is saying that her mother, Beatrice, went to Ruby Spratt first and wanted to remain anonymous. And then, all of a sudden, David Fellows, a.k.a. Felix Fellows, a.k.a. 5Ps, comes out with the same story as Beatrice Watts. And then all of a sudden, so Beatrice decides that she wants to then, the banger track. I feel like since we get no more music, we at least have to listen to that one again, even though we can't listen to the disco, which kind of sucks, but we'll have like one last listen to end it out. Don't let me forget. So after seeing 5Ps come out, this inspired Beatrice to try again. And then everybody jumped down her throat because her story was too similar to 5P's. But Ruby Spratt claims that according to DNA, 5P's is a root tree. Beatrice and her daughter are not. That's the context with which I'm going to start my Elle Woods-esque theory here that came to me like 30 minutes after the stream ended last time. It was one of those, like, I laid down in bed and, you know, like when your brain is all of a sudden like that's exactly what happened. I like laid down and I was like, okay. And then I like shot up in bed. I was like, oh my God. And maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe. But hear me out. I will present my case. I knew there would be a post-stream revelation. I think I was just thrown that we had to do this in the first place, so my brain was not working. But I feel like it's working now. Okay, so here's the thought that I had. So, what we remember about Ruby Spratt, right? I want to pull this up because I don't think I had this. Let me just pull it up again. So I was thinking about Ruby Spratt. And I can't spell her name. So I remember seeing her legal company. Is it going to say? Was like a law firm and a PR company combined. And I was like, okay. And a PR company. What the heck is it called? Ruby Legal Enterprises. Was that not? There we go. What did I search? Okay. Okay. Anyways, I remember somewhere saying that Ruby Legal Enterprises was like a law firm and a PR company. We looked into Ruby Spratt. We found out that Ruby Spratt was in the foster care system in Portland, Oregon. This is important. Portland, Oregon. Remember, she commissioned this like whole fountain, or made this whole fountain as a project, and then like the money that people throw into the fountain goes into the foster care system in Portland. So this is something that's important to her, right? Who also has a connection to Portland and the foster care system? 5Ps. 5Ps was living with his mother, who unfortunately, tragically overdosed in Portland when he was 16, putting him in the foster care system. Ruby Spratt possibly knows him, wants to help because this is a cause that she is passionate about. So much so that she made a freaking fountain for it. So when Beatrice comes to Ruby with her story, Ruby is like, 5Piece is already a kind of established musician. He's not super famous, but this could catapult him into stardom. And we don't know. I don't know if there's like a smoking gun we can find that he is connected to Ruby Legal Enterprises. But I think Ruby had a reason to steal this story and give it to 5Piece, and it was just so convenient that she wanted to remain anonymous. And then it was all the more easier to discredit her when she did want to come out with a similar story. It's not that they faked it and copied him. It's that Ruby gave her story to 5Piece. That's the revelation I had. Yeah, so that was like my post-stream revelation. So we think 5Piece was given the story for the song to protect it. I don't know if it was to protect her privacy. I think if Ruby is, I don't know if maybe she didn't think, I don't know. I don't know how much I'm reading into the game if Ruby is like a bad person. If Ruby's like a bad person and she's doing it for her own personal gain, then that would make sense. Could be, I don't know, to protect her privacy. I don't know. But the fact that she's possibly tampering with DNA evidence, maybe it's because she got caught in the lie and she's just trying to cover her tracks. Because something like that would get like the root trees to fire her. You know what I mean? So it could just be like she made a really dumb decision and now she's got to cover her tracks because of the whole Anonymom thing. So that's why she faked the DNA, maybe? Could be she's shady. I think there is some evidence that we haven't found certain clues for this. Although I kind of want to go into this. I want to see if there's like something that we missed. I don't know if there's something that we missed. Like that would like maybe tell us. Oh, Ruby, don't take 5Piece to town. Kenny Rogers quote. Oh, there it is. Yeah, she grew up in the foster care system. Yep. Okay, so I don't know if there's going to be something that's going to connect her. But I feel like the fact that this is under, the game put this under 5Piece. And he's not mentioned here. Because we're supposed to make the connection, I think, with Portland and the foster care system. Which I think is interesting. Why would they put that there? Why would they put that there? Why would they put that there? Maybe we can search for like, I don't know if like the foster fountain or the fountain of youths. I don't know if this is like okay, stop. I don't know if you guys saw. Okay, so I went to Fountain of Youth. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, we should have searched more in Portland. Maybe we got to search a bit more in Portland for this because that's the connection. Smoking fucking gun. I fear that the rest of these, like trying to verify the rest of these is not going to be as exciting as this. Smoking fucking gun. Unveiling of the fountain. Dirty Davy performed. They were foster care alumni. Most of them grew up together as close friends. Ruby Spratt has a fucking has a fucking reason to do this. Oh shit. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I don't know what we haven't found. But I don't know what we haven't found. So the root tree rift. What is this again? Okay, that's the conflict from 6 pieces. Yeah, that was released. Okay. Why is this in here? Maybe just because the whole Clans to Trust thing. Can we search this in other things? I can just go back to other things and like Butler County Times, Business Watch. Oh, okay, so we've been in here. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if this is unnecessarily... Okay. I think that's a pretty... I think that's a pretty... That's a pretty hot smoking gun. That's a pretty hot smoking gun. I don't know if we need to, find all of the things. But I think... I don't know. It's pretty hot. I don't know, like maybe like some Anonymom stuff to confirm. Because do we have everything? Because I feel like these are related. So what do we have with her also? That's filled out. That's filled out. That's filled out. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like... Oh, so she would be Jane Doe root tree. Research her. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've... And plus... I don't know. I don't know like a lot about biology off the Scoville. Okay. Okay. I think the red hair is also kind of... Like, I know not necessarily, like... it's not, like, guaranteed if you have red hair. I know it's, like, it's not guaranteed, but I think that's a pretty kind of clear indication to me. So, I'm... Yeah, I don't know what this is, but... I think it's worth pursuing at least. Yeah. It's hard though because we don't know his papa. We don't know his papa. That's the problem. I do remember something about like his dad making threatening calls or letters or something. That's not what I wanted to look up at all. Why did it bring me there? Is there anywhere else we could like search her? Nothing. They're the ones that like are gonna like, they're kind of like the sleazy magazine. Oh, that was a Sicily. What is this again? Okay. Let's see if she has an album. I don't know if did we read this? Where is this again? The Mid-Eastern? Okay. Earned her place with a full scholarship. Okay. Oh, okay. So she's just like really about income inequality, wealth inequality. I mean, I'm kind of with her there. So maybe I don't know if we found this before. I can't. Whatever. I don't remember reading this. Her motives are good. Yeah, so if this is the thing, her valedictorian speech was somewhat controversial at the time, as it was quite serious with a heavy focus on wealth inequality. Ruby, unsatisfied by simply earning her place at Mid-Eastern with a full scholarship, went on to earn a captive audience of her peers with a perfect GPA. Felt like the ideal occasion for a celebration of an undoubtedly incredible individual. However, by the end of her speech, there were many in the audience that wished neither of those events had transpired. It was a passionate attempt to use her soapbox to proselytize her fellow students and their parents into the religion of poverty, but unfortunately. So maybe she's trying to like take down the root trees? I'm getting a little bit of an eat the rich, maybe? So maybe she's trying to take it down and like kind of throw them into more chaos by saying like, here, you know, this is how easily I can fake you out because you guys are so inept at what you're doing and you've caused this much trouble. Like, why not give your money to somebody who is also not wealthy? Oh no, don't make me like her. Don't make me like her. Crap. Okay, so I feel like I kind of want to just cheat and figure out who his dad is. But clearly it's not related to this. Because I feel like it would be in the smoking gun. So it's like, I guess technically it might be impossible to prove. It is possible, I guess. I'm kind of thinking not a root tree, though. I think there's too much evidence to maybe suggest otherwise. Because if he really was, why would they need to take a story from somebody else? Rubber Ducky, who's his dad? Who's his dad? The Ruby Root Tree, good or bad? Rubber Duck. Rubber Ducky, who's his dad? Is Ruby Root Tree good or bad? Rubber Ducky, we're asking answer from you. Boop boop be do. It took me a second to realize it was to the tune of the song. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, I feel like if he was a root tree, or he really did think he was, he'd have a story of his own. Totally sober, I swear. Yeah, we believe you. Totally believe you. I think she is. It also might kind of be impossible to prove, but we can't, I feel like we can't trust the DNA tests also. Because one, I don't know how to read them. Also, the game told us we have no reason to suspect that like the company did anything. So like the actual like DNA company, we have no reason to believe that they would do something. But I don't know, because like I'm looking at it and a lot of these numbers are quite like close. So I don't really know what that means. Because this is not my profession. But I feel like a lot of these numbers are quite close. I don't know. So I don't know about this. So I'm going to say that she is for now. Okay, so we have some other people to confirm. That was my little... I fear I don't have any like revelations about anybody else though, so... Didn't we get the vibe the DNA was tampered with by someone? Yeah, by Ruby. But not by the company, I mean. Because we did see something that like said like the actual company, whatever it's called, this company. Yeah, I just remember seeing something like, we have no reason to believe the company was like not doing something wrong. But Ruby definitely possibly was doing something wrong. For sure. For sure. Okay, so we have to confirm Frank Williams, the Clementines, and all of Guy Hudson's shit going on. Pretty much. Okay. They found something, discarded hair in Ruby's office or something. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if that's the case, she could have used some other DNA to run the test. To make it seem like she was not related. Okay, so I guess should we continue with Guy? And then we can do the other ones? I don't know why we just went for it and said that she for sure was, but... I guess we can just go through the rest of Guy Hudson's shit. Just wade through this sewage. Okay. So let's look at you figure the smoking guns have to be like the same with this, right? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Because they are twins? Possibly. I can't remember. I can't remember. Okay. So these two... I'm trying to remember the story here. There's something about like... Let's just click onto one of these. Oh, yeah, all the plants. Okay. Yeah. I feel like there was wasn't there something about like a show in like an Italian restaurant, or was that a different... Yeah. Antonelli's. That's right. Emma's gonna play Little Misfortune? Oh my god! I'm gonna have to tune in and watch, because... Ugh. Love. Playing tomorrow night? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll have to tune in, because... So good. Okay. Okay. Let's refresh ourselves really quick. Worked at Antonelli's. Oh, that's something like she also worked on like a farm or something, right? And that's how they met or something. Local author sued by former Butler County resident. Gourmet. Oh, yeah, there was like some, yeah. Kitchen Tales. Oh, shit. Okay, did I not search that before? This was like the book. Was this the plagiarized one? Okay, well, what the fuck did we get? The fuck? That looks like a nice piece of bread. Combines recipes and stories. Seem to disappear. Okay. For years, two bakers, Flora and Yates, flirted. They grew their friendship, compared recipes, and combined knowledge. Wait. Hold on. I just have to verify. I just have to remind myself. Is this the plagiarized one? Yes. Okay. This was the plagiarized one. And then they like re-released a book together or something like that. The Steve Garland, the dad. Yes. Okay. Sorry. I'm there. Okay. We'll look at this now. Okay. Sorry. I just had to refresh myself. Okay. So this is from the plagiarized version. But was written by their dad. Okay. Cool. Anyways, for 2 years, Baker's Flora Civic's like, take a breath, take a drink of water. Okay. Sorry, we learned so much last stream too that I have to, oh my God, we went down so many rabbit holes. Okay. For 2 years, Flora and Yates flirted. They grew their friendship, compared recipes, combined knowledge. She loved his salt and pepper beard. He adored her rosemary cheeks. They thought sweetly about one another, but he was one day whisked away, conscripted to bake the army's bread. By the oil of the lamp, Flora's tears began to salt her bread. The recipe asks the reader to combine flour, yeast, sugar, olive oil, and rosemary. Combine the salt and water together, add the mixture, and whisk until the dough begins to form. Oh, the metaphors. It was 10 to 12 years later that they meet again, seemingly by fate. Flora's unique dough had earned her a position at as the king's personal baker. Yates had found success as well. He baked for the kingdom's 45 diplomats. One day they returned from the Dutch Isles with a gift. 450 unbaked loaves, and were sent to the palace bakery to teach a method that required no kneading. Allowed the dough to proof for 10 to 12 hours. Damn. That's a long time. Then spread it out, let it sit for over 45 minutes on a floured baking sheet with no kneading. Next, prepare a Dutch oven preheated to 450 degrees. I don't know if that would... I don't think that would work. Kneading like activates the... Anyway, sorry. Reading way too much in it. Upon seeing Yates, Flora was both delighted and distraught. She felt as if she was torn in two. She had not been made aware of the gift and had already prepared buns for the palace ovens. Okay, this seems like we're gonna have to like read into the metaphor. We're definitely gonna have to read into the metaphor here. She had not been made aware of the gift and had already prepared buns for the palace ovens. So she wasn't aware that she was pregnant yet. So this is about Christine. I don't know who Yates is yet. She wished to greet Yates warmly, but was struck by fears. Is Yates their dad, Steve Garland, maybe? She wished to greet Yates warmly, but was struck by fears that he'd be unable to bake with her. That she'd face retribution for being unprepared. He'd be unable to have kids with her. She'd face retribution for getting pregnant out of wedlock. Cut the dough into 2 equal pieces and lightly sprinkle salt across the top of only one of them. Twins, fraternal twins. I'm getting it. Of course Yates is the dad. This was plagiarized from him. Never mind, I got it. Yates eased her pain. He insisted she had no obligation to prepare for a return she thought impossible, but he shared her fear of retribution. He knew if they did not solve her predicament, they'd miss their final chance to bake together. In the end, instead of wallowing in the present, they worked together to shape the future. They twisted and entwined their doughs and baked them as one. Thus was born the plated loaf. Word quickly spread of this new delight. The king's decree on royal parchment was that it would be considered a delicacy. Roll and twist the pieces to entwine them, and then take the twist and wrap around the inside of the Dutch oven atop parchment from out. Okay, whatever, doesn't matter. Entwined doughs. Yeah, what does that mean? Bankrolled by the king, Flora and Yates spent their days baking together. They traveled for 45 years and settled down for 15 more. Their souls were golden with no regrets. Okay. Bankrolled by the king. So the king, okay, so let's go through this metaphor really quick. The king has got to be Root Tree. The king has got to be Guy Hudson. Flora is Christine. Yates is Steven, the twins' dad. So they had a romance. He had to go away. They met again, but she was already pregnant because she had a position as the king's personal baker. So she had a job with Root Tree. And he had found success as well. Da 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 blah 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 blah. Felt as if she was torn in two. She had not been made aware of the gift and had already prepared buns for the palace ovens. So she was already pregnant. Okay. And then he was afraid he wouldn't be able to be with her, that she would be in trouble, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay. Well, oh, and that was the last clue for both of them. I mean, I feel like... I don't know, that's... The fact that he wrote a story and then she was already pregnant, I think makes this is a blood relative. I don't know. What do you guys think? That seems pretty clear to me. For a metaphor. The new Bake Off season soon. Speaking of bread, all of that just made me want to bake a loaf of bread. Like I want like a nice, fresh piece of homemade bread that's still kind of warm, with some soft vegan butter on it. Ugh. I like actually really want it. I use my bread maker. Actually, I've never used a bread maker. It's kind of one of those kitchen tools that like, and this is going to sound weird or whatever, but I almost forget they exist sometimes. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, I don't know how common they are. I feel like they're definitely not that common. Like it's not like a blender or like more, most people would have a blender. But I'm always kind of like, every time somebody's like, oh yeah, my bread maker, I'm like, oh yeah. I've never actually used one. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. It's one of those things, like, I can't picture it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how it works, even. Like, what does it do? Actually, I want to know. What does it do? Was this a tangent that required our time? No. It just came into my head when you said that. I'm like, anytime somebody brings that up, it's like, and I could Google it. I could, you know what? And I can Google it. I'm like, how does it work? Actually, I don't know. What does that look like? Sounds delicious. You know what else sounds delicious? Garlic bread from Ponte's Pizza. We won't mix our metaphors, just our ingredients. Order now, and our delivery boy will compose us on it at your front door or something. I don't know. Do you know what also sounds great? Homemade pizza with like homemade pizza dough. Ugh. And I ate literally right before this, and I'm making myself hungry again. Okay, I gotta stop thinking about bread. We're moving on. Okay, so I don't know why we checked that off right away. Let's not jump to conclusions. Dang it, Vicky. Sorry, we read all about the bread, and then Kate brought up a bread maker, and I'm just like, how does that work? And also like bread. Ugh. BRB gonna get a soda. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna refresh myself really quick. On this. I remember there being IVF CEO of Ling Tai was Ling Hongbo, and his younger daughter Ling Xinyao. And her husband cannot have children, so in an attempt to create a suitable heir, he paid this Qi genes to have their child implanted in his older daughter, who was unmarried. Oh, I do remember this. Yeah, they often perform IVF, the whistleblower proved that a few of their customers paid a very different service, an alibi. Yes, I remember seeing this. Okay. Welcome back. I was just refreshing on Min Lang. So this is the one where okay, so okay. No. Go back. This is the one where it's like, so this one might be one where it's like not. Maybe. I don't know. This is the one, like, so there was like a whistleblower. It was like her younger sister, Xinyu's younger sister, Xinyao, and her husband couldn't conceive. So her father, Xinyu's father, had this company, Key Genes, implant, or like she was a surrogate for her sister and her husband, which might result in this. But also, so it's like at first you're thinking, okay, so like no, but also this company, Key Genes, it says there was a whistleblower that said some of their services in cases were falsified. So sometimes people use them as an alibi. So they would like claim they performed IVF on someone who was already pregnant to create a cover story for high profile families who did not want to give up a child, but did not want the shame of an unmarried mother. So it kind of throws into question, she could have been using this as an alibi, or their family could have been using this as an alibi. Make the soda stream version of Diet Coke sometimes. Little machine that fizzes water. So you can make your own seltzer soda. Yeah, so it's like, so there's like, this is like super questionable. There's a clue we haven't found. So I'll try searching a couple things. Maybe, I feel like the periodicals have been her friend. So maybe, I doubt anything in Butler County Times. Let's just go down the list of stuff that makes sense. Long article spells out a huge controversy. Oh, it's more about the whistleblower. Came forward to the U.S. government. Said to have been founded in China by a partnership. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I say that and then I miss something that's like crucial. Whistleblowers claim Key Genes will sometimes claim they performed IVF when they did not. Yes. They'd fly their clients to America where they would stay for an extended period of time, then return to China with news of a successful IVF pregnancy. Whistleblower apparently presented the Department of Health and Human Services with credible evidence. At the time, the article was still an ongoing investigation, but Business Watch speculated, after copies of the proof were leaked to various media sources, that they couldn't imagine a world in which the company would be allowed to continue operations. Okay. So let's go back to her other smoking guns. Oh, that was the one we needed. Okay. The periodicals, I'm telling you, it's the period. I didn't search enough terms in the various periodicals. Company records. I'm sure this is just going to be like a trip to China or something. Well, I guess the development, the flavor developments in the various places, that's the thing. So they were still developing the watermelon flavor in the China branch. So unless there's some bread related thing. I don't think there's a bread related thing in here. Jerry, Lyndon, Mark Han appeared recently on a website called Focus on Philanthropy, hanging with the Hans. The Hans were chosen because they donate significantly to causes that further Chinese American culture. Oh, this is her younger sister. Her younger sister. Absolutely terrified to move to the United States, but my big sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this. Okay. He had Mark. We never even. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China. Wait, that doesn't make any sense then. Our niece who grew up there was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get here. Lucy Lang. The name change apparently drove my sister absolutely loco. Why would the name drive her that crazy? Is there something in the name Lucy? I don't know. Wait, the sister who didn't want to go didn't like it, or was that a different sister? Hold on. Let me go back. No, why is the history all weird? Maybe because I'm clicking from here. Okay. Do I have to maybe look up like Linda Han? Oh, it's just literally the same thing. Lang Xinyu. Or, okay. Hold on. She is Linda. Okay. Yes. Okay. Jerry is her husband. Got it. Okay. Yeah, so Linda is her younger sister. Xinyu's younger sister. Okay. So they were born in China, fell in love in college. So that's confusing. Wait, because... Okay. So that means... Unless I read it funny. No, I think it is confusing. I think it's just confusing. Okay, so they did have a child, according to this. Okay, this just brings up the same thing. So I think the fact that they're talking about a child, and then there's also her niece, I think that is telling us that the key genes, whatever, I think that's saying that was a cover-up. So the family, because she got pregnant out of wedlock, they used the IVF as a cover-up. So she didn't actually do IVF for her sister. Her sister had her own child. They used it as... That's what I'm thinking. I think that's what that clue is. So, the only question now... is that... Do we think for sure root tree? Or might be a root tree, but it's impossible to prove. I don't know. There's not a lot of smoking guns here. So it's one of those things, like, it feels like it's very possible. But I guess we don't have anything... We don't have anything, like, super... remember she like runs the company. Yeah. Unsourced picture of Shinyu from 1992 when she took over. Okay. Yeah, I think it's like possible, but maybe we don't know. Like there's some very strong evidence. Yeah, so maybe that makes it a question mark. Like super possible, but won't know for sure unless we have a credible DNA test. Okay, so what happens if we lock it in and get it wrong? I don't know. I don't actually know. Somebody comes in and kills us. Dang. Okay, so we got to figure out this one too. Okay, so we know his mom, Sonia Alves, I think Nia Alves. Let's go to our periodicals maybe and search for like Flavio and Nia. Maybe we'll come up with something. Periodicals have been our friend, actually, this time. Actually, Business Watch has been our friend. But I feel like the periodicals, there's too many of them, and I think that's probably why it's my friend this time. Okay. I don't think they would be in here. Or write a diss track about us. Right. Yeah, I figured not. Go back to this. Ah! Okay. Oh, it's not Vicky. Alves. Jesus Christ. Let's try that again. Did we see this? Okay, we did find this. The media mogul in Brazil. I don't know if we saw this. Was this our last thing? I'm telling, the periodicals are saving our lives right now. Oh my God. The periodicals are saving our lives. Okay. This might be new. Okay. Nia Alves owns many forms of media in Brazil under the umbrella of Transmiss Sao Paulo. Business Watch has mentioned her by name a few times. The most relevant appearance seems to be an article about the struggles of American media companies to do business with their foreign counterparts due to difference in laws. A few media groups and countries are discussed, including those in Africa and the Middle East. Transmiss Sao Paulo in Brazil is also discussed. Due to the lack of freedom of speech laws in Brazil, there's been added bureaucracy in publishing certain stories on Transmiss Sao Paulo's channels. Nia is extremely private about her identity and supposedly once used her connection to have a reporter fired from a rival network blacklisted. Damn. The journalist claimed that this was to shut down a story he was doing about her personal life, including that her marriage in 1973 was not of her own choice. His research claimed that she essentially had her husband forced upon her as a child bride at the age of 15. Jesus Christ. Child brides were not outlawed in Brazil until 1990? It also claims... I don't know if that's true or not. I would hope they did their research before making that claim in this game. That's... Okay, it also claims... Sorry, I can't move past that. It also claims that past appearances with her husband have been for show. They do not live together, and that she resents her own parents for the arrangement. The final claim was that she must have made her money under the table through nefarious and possibly illegal means during Brazil's dictatorship, as his research uncovered that she could not possibly have earned enough to start a media company otherwise. After making his statement, the reporter went into hiding in fear of his safety. Okay. So, I guess I can see how this is kind of a smoking gun. So there is murky waters regarding And we don't know we don't know who this journalist is. We don't know. Does she come up in like Picot? Because they will share information. No. Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. So we don't know. So we don't know if this is credible, I guess. So for right now, maybe question mark. Possible, I guess. What are the other smoking guns? The company records again, which is I think the fact that they're developing the flavors in the places, that must mean he was traveling to there. And we do know that they were at a Christmas tree. They were at a Christmas party because we do have this picture. Yeah. So we do know that they were at a Christmas party. Okay, what's the other smoking gun? Transmiss Sao Paulo. Massive media group. Owned and run by a mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. Yep. Okay, Nia received a significant inheritance in 1980 and invested it in many different manufacturing. Okay, so that's the connection to the other thing. Because it said there's no way she would have gotten her money without doing some like under the table stuff. Received significant inheritance. Using her investment in connections. Huh. Okay. So there's a question of where she got the money. So I guess that then throws into question if Flavio is his son, she got money from him and that's how she started her business. Is there any like other kind of money thing that would point to it maybe? But we also don't know too, like if this like $10,000 a month, is that really going to the development of the flavor? Or is that $10,000 a month going to like Sonia Alves? Okay. This also, I don't know. You guys let me know. This also kind of seems like might be a root tree. It's impossible to prove. It feels like this game could be pretty pedantic. So it's like I feel like the fact that we don't have anything as solid, it's more just like the circumstances could be that. Like this one, we kind of had like a story that lines up with her parent, that was like written in a book that lines up with the parents. We have this stuff that's a lot more solid, whereas these two, it's like the timing is right and it's convenient, but it's murky. So it's like without a proper solid DNA test, we would not be sure. But it could. But I feel like we'd be making a kind of a stretch to say like without a questionable doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, they're a root tree. So I don't know. Okay, let's take a look. So not a lot of smoking guns here either. So I guess it gets like I don't know. I don't want to like question them all, but we have all of the things here. All right. All right. What are our smoking guns here? Let's revisit the smoking guns. This was the one, just real quick, this was the one, she was like the, blue principal of the school for the deaf, which we do have on record like a sizable donation to, which was somewhere. I'm surprised it's not this one. Yeah, sizable donation to that school. I did. I did sing Blue. Fast forward. Okay. And yes, and there's a whole thing with like the husband too, like found out about infidelity and then divorced her. So one arrest, Thomas Hughes, which was her husband, who was coincidentally a former student at the school. The destruction came weeks after he married the school's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. So only weeks after. She was not a teacher when he graduated. Okay, according to the reporter's investigation into the police reports, trials, and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes' current pregnancy. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed to not press criminal charges. Okay. Yeah, and so that would make sense because if he went to vandalize what Guy Hudson paid for, right? Because there was the Hudson wing, multiple broken windows. One of the teacher's cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. So we don't really know what gave Thomas Hughes reason to believe this, but we know that he felt very strongly about it. We do know that. Okay, that's what that was. Okay. Oh, Mistress Susie something. What's that? The dinner was good. Imported steak that lightly cost as much as a month of my mortgage. We all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress Susie something into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl. I remember her from our trip overseas. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last it ever came up. Okay, so I guess we have like kind of like a witness from somebody else that Susan was with Guy at the time. And this was in mid 1981. So I guess we could check the timing. Like when was the vandalism done? From 1982. Okay, so this was after they had spent time together. So I think the timeline adds up. I don't know. This one might be more sure. Company records. And in 1982, she's no longer employed by Root Tree. I think this is a bit more of a smoking gun. Thank you, Civic, for taking care of that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think even though it's not a lot of evidence. Do you know what's also crazy? And I don't know if maybe one of you is better at biology than me. How kind of crazy is it that like Guy Hudson is a twin, right? Two of the cases of infidelity we're locking in are twins. Is that like, can that be like, is there like a genetic predisposition for that? That seems wild if it is, right? But I don't know. Twins are more common in IVF, I think. Okay. I just think that's kind of crazy. I don't know if the game threw that in there. I don't know, but that's odd, right? And we're kind of locking the, I think the circumstantial evidence on this one is a bit stronger. And there's an outside source that confirms. Whereas, like, for these two instances, Sonia and Shinyu, we don't really have outside sources really confirming them together. We have a picture, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, I think. I don't know. We have the picture, but I guess, was she working at Root Tree Brazil though also? Now that I know we literally just confirmed that. What's her connection to Root Tree though? Wait. Do we remember? What's her connection to the Root Tree Candy Company? I know she's in Brazil, but now I don't remember. I'm trying to... I know it wasn't part of the smoking gun thing. But what's the connection? The evidence has got to be in the smoking guns, right? So we just know he was developing candy in there. And the significant inheritance. Yeah, I don't remember what... I don't remember what her connection is. This came from Piketty, which we have the article now. Mentions Root Tree Brazil. Just in passing, though. Why didn't mean to join them in dealing with Root Tree Brazil? Yes, it doesn't say anything else, though. But I guess, okay, maybe I'm thinking too much about it. I think maybe we should just rely on what it tells us. What the smoking guns are, right? I don't know. I don't actually know. Crap. Okay. Crap. I'm second guessing this one now. But I don't know what I would point to other than... Okay. We'll come back to it. Have a think on this one, though. I don't know. I can't remember what connects them. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more, what is your first intuition about it? So many people. Yeah. My brain is like, there's only so much smoking guns that it's telling us we should pay attention to. Yeah, there's only so many things it's telling us we need to pay attention to. But the fact that I can't remember, like, so she's just there. That makes it a bit more suspicious to me. Because we can't find anything that, like, really gives her any other reason to be hanging out with this guy other than they're fucking. And they seem awful cozy in this picture. And look how, I know this is a picture just made for the game, but look how close they are and look how far apart they are. I don't know. So something in my gut is like, I don't know. But then also I'm kind of like, the game is not giving you any more clues. So maybe, I don't know, maybe. We'll come back to him. We'll see how we feel. We'll see how we feel after. We'll see how we feel after. Okay, let's work on the Clementines. Well, we have... Oh, so do we have all the evidence for him? Wow, like no evidence. All right, cool. Okay. Let's go through the one with less. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back to Flavio. We see how we feel. We'll see how we feel about Flavio. Alrighty, let's refresh. Mary Beth was a singer. She was big on adoption. I remember that. Yeah, listed on many sites that mention adoption, the history of adoption. Put up a poll. Go with our gut or just the facts? Okay. Okay. Yeah, it just felt stronger. I know I said I'd leave it alone. It just felt stronger than this one, because in this one it's like, yes, she was working in like the candy factory that's like running that business that dealt with this, but we don't have any, like, we don't have the physical evidence, like the picture and stuff that like puts these two together. Is it likely because he was running around town all the time? Yeah, it's likely. But yeah, so it just felt different. I don't know. Anyways, Mary Beth. Okay. Huge advocate for adoption. Her son was adopted later, according to a single line on one adoption site, under unusual circumstances. In 1959, it surfaced that Mary Beth had been twice divorced, both times to her manager Sterling. This ended her career with the religious audience she had been catering to, and while she performed occasionally since then. Okay, now also, and y'all just be honest if I'm reading too much into something. Also, it will not hurt my feelings. I feel like she was like, because Mary Beth Clementine, I feel like I gotta say her name like that, Mary Beth Clementine, because she was so big on like the whole adoption thing. Like it almost feels like, and I could just be reading too much into this, again, tell me if I am, like my lady doth protest too much a little bit, you know what I mean? Like she really going hard on the not that that's a bad cause to get behind at all, but now I'm like suspicious of everybody, and I think that's becoming part of a problem in my brain. But also because she was like so big in the religious community, this could be like a safety, this could be like a blanket of her, like she's overcompensating, or she's creating a cover already for that. If she has children out of wedlock, it's because she's adopting, right? Because she's big on adoption, so of course she's adopting these children. Of course she's adopting. Okay, go with the guts, win the poll, so I'm gonna keep it there for now, but you know what I mean? So like maybe a little overcompensation, like She was specifically there to detail her experience going through the system to adopt Stuart. Okay, but also I guess I wish I had record of that. Do we have record of her talking to the United States Congress in 1949? Under unusual circumstances. I think we have to go back and find out what Stuart. I missed it, but probably would have tied it up. Oh, Kate's on the logic side. Okay, we'll still let it sit and we'll go back to it. We'll go back to Flavio last thing before we lock in. Look at what I can do. Me going from like Maribeth Clementine to Stuart. Okay. She had also been twice divorced, and that got her into a sticky situation with the religious audience because they didn't like that. So they definitely would not like her having children out of wedlock. We know that. We know that. Okay. Okay, so this is talking about how Miracle Root Tree was moved by Mary Beth's recording of his eyes on the sparrow, which just tells me that Miracle Root Tree does not season his food because clearly the best rendition of his eyes on the sparrow is from the Sister Act 2. Thank you very much. I rest my case. Anyways. Okay. The song is about overcoming sadness and hardship through Jesus. Yeah. Miracle, also protesting too much. My family's fortune does me no good as a man of the Lord. Shut the fuck up. When I learned her personal story, I knew I had to help her in whatever way I could. When did he hear her sing this? Mentioned 2 times through the first visit from 1949 was significantly more substantial. Okay. So they met 1949. This seems like a little delayed to this. She adopted her 2 children. It just says in the late 40s. And in 1949, she had, I don't know. If the claim is here that they had first met in 1949, played religious hymns at the Miracle Congregation's church. She's mentioned 2 times, though the first visit from 1949. So I don't know. Maybe at least not this kid. Maybe at least not this kid. I don't know. Okay. Second visit was a few years later, 1953. The article mentions that her first visit was a mass success. Bleh. And at the insistence of Miracle's congregation, she's returned for an encore performance. Also mentions that the unusual circumstance of her second son's adoption have prevented her from touring recently, but doesn't clarify. So this, unless you guys tell me, unless I think I'm reading it wrong, the first time that we have any evidence that Mary Beth and Miracle met was in 1949, which I think would, at the very least for the first son, take him out of the running. Adopted 2 children in the late 1940s. It's super vague. So that doesn't really tell us anything. Okay. And Stuart is the older one. Yep. Stuart is the older one. She was specifically there to detail her experience going through the system to adopt Stuart. Her other son was adopted later, according to... Okay. All right. Okay, so they were both adopted by 1949. Right? Am I reading that right? She's listed on many sites that mention adoption and the history of adoption. She adopted 2 children in the late 1940s, Stuart and Mark. I promise I'll stop doing that. I'll just say Stuart normally. Don't! I want to do it. It's like it's become like an earworm now. I have to say it that way. Okay, she also spoke as an advocate for the benefits of adoption in front of the U.S. Congress in 1949, who were convening to debate and discuss the then recent first adoption of an African American child to a white family in the United States. Okay, she was specifically there to detail her experience going through the system to adopt Stuart. Her other son was adopted later, and according to a single line on the adoption site, under unusual circumstances. So they were both adopted before 1949. Right? That's what I'm reading. But Mark has a lot more evidence here. Like they were, so the way I'm reading it is these two, Stuart and Mark, were both adopted by Mary Beth before she went to the United States Congress in 1949. And that wasn't the one I wanted to look at. This one. The way this reads says Mary Beth Clementine came to Butler County a few times and played religious hymns at the Miracle Congregation's church. She was mentioned 2 times, though the first visit from 1949 was significantly more substantial. That to me reads like the first time she would have come into contact with Miracle Root Tree was in 1949, and her 2 children were already adopted. So that tells me, at the very least, we'll have to look into the other evidence for Mark over here because he's got a lot more. I do not think Stuart, I'm so sorry, Stuart, but I don't think you're a root tree. I think he is not. That's what I'm going to say for now. Let's take a look at what's going on here. I forgot about Tostarito Jacobson. And Jacobson, okay, so this might be where it gets a little more dicey. Because Tostarito Jacobson is related to Edith Jacobson, who is married to a root tree. Not the root tree over in that side, but his son. So maybe Mark. Maybe Mark. All I can think of when I hear his name is like, y'all know that, have you seen that TikTok where it's like, it's one guy like saying, we are African Americans plus Mark. And it like pans to like the one white guy, like that they've allowed to hang out with them. So I just keep hearing, and Mark. The brain rot is real. The brain rot is so real. Okay. All right. So Tostarito. It says something about the second son at the end of that article. Sounded like they were alluding to her being pregnant in this one. Because it does mention it in the spider search too. Like there was like adoption under quote unquote unusual circumstances. That's not where I wanted to go. That's where I wanted to go. It also mentions that the quote unusual circumstances of her second son's adoption have prevented her from touring recently. You're right. That does kind of allude to actually being pregnant. Like that sounds like a cover for sure. I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm with you. For sure. You don't have TikTok. Oh no. If I share TikToks in the Discord, can you at least see them? Does it let you like view them even though you don't have a TikTok? Just out of curiosity. Okay. All right. So we got some mysterious circumstances. Let's refresh on Tostarito Jacobson. Oh yeah, Lucinda Jacobson. Okay, let's go to the smoking guns. Goddamn. Basket Baby of 1950. Yeah, so we do know Lucinda. True crime about Edith Jacobson that also mentions Helen Roottree and Lucinda Jacobson. So let's refresh ourselves. Let's go to our tree. Get out of my way. Mork. Okay, so we have Helen Roottree, who was married to Miracle Roottree. This story was confusing to me. Yeah, a little bit. We'll try and refresh. Okay. Oops, nope. Okay, so Edith, her sister. So Edith, this is Edith Jacobson, married to Miracle Jr. And then it also involves Helen Roottree, who is married to Miracle Roottree, Miracle Sr. Okay. This is how we got to the Tostarita part, I guess. All right, so Edith Jacobson, Helen Roottree, and Lucinda Jacobson, who is Tostarito Jacobson. In 1971, when she was 18, Edith and her sister Lucinda Tostarito were arrested for trespassing at the Miracle Congregation's church in Butler County. They were pretending to be church employees in an attempt to get into the room where the church houses their weekly tithings. The church didn't press charges. They were caught by Helen Roottree, who's married to Miracle, there at the time while her husband Miracle was away preaching. Helen Roottree was quoted saying, "Jesus forgives and so do we. The Lord works in mysterious ways. I'm confident he has brought these young women to us for a greater purpose." Interesting. For a greater purpose. Interesting. Okay, she got her name. Fuegos Fiesta, a regional Mexican fast food chain, held a competition in 1993 that offered free meals for life to anyone that legally changed their name to Tostarito. The Tostarito was okay. Then her son ended up marrying Edith. Helen Roottree, ended up marrying Edith. Yes. Correct. Okay. Basket Baby of 1950. Let's refresh this. Mentioned that in 1950, a gospel singer named Mary once found herself dealing with a real-life Baby Moses situation. So see, the timeline of this doesn't... Okay, whatever. Apparently, she was a rather prominent supporter... Oh, maybe it does! Sorry. Apparently, she was a rather prominent supporter of the concept of adoption, and someone decided to test how much. They left a baby on her doorstep in a basket. According to the site, she adopted him without question, raised him as her own. Although it wasn't national news in many circles, he became known as the Basket Baby. None of the websites state who the woman or the baby were, likely to prevent people from looking into either of the people too closely. For context, it's Mary Beth Clementine, who would later be shunned due to her personal life, and her son Mark, who would later be known as Crocodile Clementine. Okay. Okay, so see, that kind of I feel like that kind of gets confusing with her going to Congress and talking about her sons that she adopted. But then this thing is talking about the Basket Baby of 1950, which would be after that. Right? Which would make sense if she was pregnant, right? Unless her son wasn't actually there. Because it doesn't... Maybe I'm reading way too much into it. So she could have just been saying, she adopted another son, but he's I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into that one. She adopted 2 children in the late 1940s. Stuart and Mark. Oh, wait, no, I read into it wrong. She was specifically there to detail her experience going through the system to adopt Stuart. Her other son was adopted later. Okay, so I think Kate's theory holds water. That she was pregnant and then had adopted the baby under mysterious circumstances, the mysterious circumstances being she gave birth. And then she spun it as this story Like after he was born, she spun it as this story of like, oh, somebody left their baby on my doorstep because I'm so into adoption, you guys. um, and so she ran with it. Preganana. Yeah, pregot. She was pregot. So I think Kate's on the money. I think Kate's on the money with that. So I think it's a lot more likely that Mork might be a root tree, maybe. Let's refresh ourselves on, oh yeah, Crocodile Clementine. That's right. He grows up to be a criminal. A criminal. I didn't know I could do that. Whoa. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Crimes. Yep. Okay. So the Billy Sims incident. That's right. So Crocodile, aka Mork. Wait. Okay, let's just reread it. Okay. Yep. Okay. Look up the Billy Sims incident, and it seems they did report on it. You gain a few new bits of information. Billy Sims was once arrested for throwing a Molotov cocktail at the company who was found to be testing their products on animals. According to police paperwork, so I think they got into a fight. I think Billy Sims and Crocodile Clementine got into a fight, and I think that's where this is coming from. Right? Yes, he was punched by Crocodile Clementine at a graduation ceremony. That's the context of that. Sorry. Okay. Yep. Okay. So that's what they're referring to. Okay. I just wanted to refresh ourselves there. Okay. That's how they are related. Okay. So according to police paperwork, Crocodile Clementine's bail was paid for by Tostarito Jacobson, Lucinda. How and why? Piketty interviewed other students that were at the event to find out if anyone knew anything. Mark Clementine showed up because his daughter Mary was graduating that night. Okay. So why would somebody seemingly so unrelated, because it was her sister who married a root tree, but Helen Root Tree also had that really creepy line that, like, you know, they might, you know, God sent them to us for a higher purpose. I don't know. The fact that I don't know. Like, this relates Lucinda Tostarito to the root trees, kind of. But why would she post his bail? This part is really tricky. So it's still kind of related to the root trees, but we don't, this gives us no other information. I feel like the whole her posting his bail is made to, like, suggest that maybe she's maybe the mother of, I don't know. I don't know. This part is really tricky. I don't know what my gut's telling me. My gut's telling me I'm confused. Didn't give me nothing. Yeah, fuck you. I'm like, why? Why would she do that? We think we've got a couple locked in, and we think we've maybe discredited 5Ps. And then we have a couple like questionable ones that we're kind of unsure. It's kind of likely. Right now we're going down the miracle thing. This is interesting. This says it's irrelevant, but I don't know. I mean, I guess this just puts Tostarito. A news expose revealed, let's see, it was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. Revealed it was his wife's Edith's sister in a disguise. So she definitely is involved in the church at this point. I don't know. This one's super murky. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any strong evidence here. If he is, I think he might be more. There might be something with Lucinda Tostarito. The fact that she posted his bail. I don't know. This one feels murky. Like maybe, might be, not in the way that we're thinking though. I don't think it's necessarily through this path. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, the last one we really have to like make a decision on. I know I said we were gonna come back to Flavio. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. This one's way murky. Way murky. Okay. Okay, so this one, I think already off the bat feels a little bit stronger because we do have, that's not what I wanted. We do have, I guess, kind of evidence of a third party hearing Gwyneth and Elias talk about Bess Williams. So that to me suggests that, while she had no hard evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias back, using some kind of leverage. So she was using the leverage of his infidelity. And her Ernie asking, who's Beth? But we know that he had a lisp, so he was saying Bess, but it sounded like, who's Beth? So this one already feels like a little bit stronger. That there is, like, I feel like I always feel more confident if there's like some third party kind of confirming that these people were involved in some way. Cruelty. Oh, is this when she's like waxing poetic about how she's so much better for being faithful to her dead husband? Yeah. They made fun of my grandpa and his family sayings. Yep. Oh, this is just kind of like the thing that confirms he was saying Bess, not Beth. Or Gwyneth's lisp. Sorry, Gwyneth's lisp. So she was saying Bess, but it sounded like Beth. Frank Wildcat Williams. Okay. Grew up an orphan because his family died in a hurricane when he was very young. Could barely remember his mother and had no memory of his father. Oh, we do remember there was like the hurricane in like Florida and Miami. Died tragically in a major hurricane. Okay, yeah. Did a lot of jobs in and around the greater Miami area. Yeah, this one, I agree, Kate. This one seems more legit. Yeah, this feels more legit. And then she wrote that, like, kind of scandalous book about him, which was like, which I called that shit because she was mad at him, which makes a lot of sense. This one feels true. Okay, so I feel like we're pretty confident about this one. I also feel pretty confident that Stuart is not a root tree. It doesn't add up. Honestly, the most murky for me are Mork and Flavio. I feel pretty goddamn confident about 5-piece and Courtney May. I'm going to be really mad if I'm wrong about either of those. I really want my post-stream brain blast to have been correct. So I feel pretty strongly about that. I feel pretty confident. I feel like 99% confident about these two. I feel like maybe like 95% confident about these ones. This one, I feel confident that it is murky. Like it is murky, but I'm not confused. You know what I mean? Like we looked at all the evidence. It's extremely possible. We just don't have that hard of evidence. Flavio, I'm confused. My head's telling me like a question mark, and my gut is maybe saying I think he is a root tree. I feel the most confused about Mark. I feel absolutely the most confused about Mark. All the evidence points to Flavio being a root tree. I mean, my biggest piece of evidence is that photo. That I'm like, maybe, because I can't remember how she's involved with root tree at all, except for her being a Brazilian person. Do we still have Ducky? I guess we can see what he says. Oh, crap! I forgot! We have to confirm these two. We don't have to confirm anybody else up here, right? No. Okay. Shit. Ah, fuck. Oh my god. And there's so much evidence we haven't found. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, guys. Uh, uh, fuck. Okay. All right. Fuck. I remember even less about this. Tell me which way to go. To find out if Ron and Robbie are root trees, you're going to need to look into their parents. Yeah, just tell me where to go. Wild Bill Williams. That's his dad. Okay. Thank you. God. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Wild Bill Williams, actor known for his role in Fortune Favors the Grave, great title, did not make an appearance at Gwen Rootree's funeral, which is their mother, who we're trying to figure out. Because of his absence, there were rumors online he must have already died, but according to a reporter that tracked him down, he's in his 70s, still lives in Paris, and is still perfectly in fine health. He even went on record saying, I think it was Mark Twain who said, the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. This seems appropriate today. The few years I spent with Gwen were just one stop along the very long, complicated journey that has been my life and career. The last time we spoke was when I signed the divorce papers. She asked me to never contact her or the kids again. I've always respected those wishes. They never reach out to me either, even as adults, so I have to assume they had some idea of why she hated me so much and the sacrifices she made on my behalf. I wish them well, and I am sorry for their loss. We've all been strangers for 40 years, so I can confidently say that they wouldn't have wanted me to be there. In fact, I'm confident my presence would have ruined it. Yeah, I know. Good thing we did find that now. Okay, so I do vaguely remember. Okay, I do. I do vaguely remember the older one already being born, and then she was pregnant with Robbie, when she divorced Wild Bill. So I do vaguely remember that. Okay. So I guess maybe there's some well, we don't know. Oh. Why? What else can we is there an update on Ronald Roottree? This is the younger one, but I guess this is part of it. Released from French prison, his embezzlement and arrest were partially featured in 6 pieces, as Robbie's participation in the Clancy Trust was a key piece of evidence in Sam's favor, and have since become much more publicly famous. Okay, they had a production company though, didn't they? Seriously? He's right there. Good Lord. Frick. What was their frickin' production company called? You think it would be under... Why can't I look at this? Am I supposed to look up Date Guys Like Us? Nope. Okay. Damn. What the fuck was the production company called? Why isn't it? Why doesn't it show up? Why doesn't it show up? And why does his name not show up? Ronnie? Why can't I search him? Maybe the periodicals, maybe. They had like a movie company. Okay. RR Productions. RR Productions. Guys Like Us remake. Hello? Movie news. The logo is a cow on a film canister. I love that. The rumored cast is Cameron Diaz in the role originated by Gwen, Linda Fiorentino, and Chris O'Donnell. According to the leaked news, the remake has been put on indefinite hiatus due to its director, who is Ron Roottree, excuse me, Ron, dropping out in the wake of a serious medical issue. That's only a rumor. Jesus Christ. Wouldn't come up under Ronald or Ronnie, but okay. Ron was announced as president of Roottree. Oh, that's right. He was like partial president for a little bit. And then Clark took over after the Roottree rift. Yeah. Who's dropped from the title entirely. Hundreds of results about this development. Maybe because he's not a Roottree? Why would they drop him so fast? Since we're calling into question his Roottree-ness. Maybe they had a reason to believe he wasn't a Roottree, and that's why they dropped him like a hot potato? On an article about Ron in Business Watch. Let's refresh ourselves on that one. Okay, we did do this. Okay. And then he had medical issues. That's all we know. So maybe it was the medical issues, but okay. A preliminary vote after Carl Roottree died before the release of Six Pieces. Way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would get the Clancy Trust to remove Robbie Roottree. Why? They stalled and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When Six Pieces came out, he saw a chance to force action. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Clancy Trust. Well, if he wasn't a Roottree, he would want the Clancy Trust gone, right? Because the Clancy Trust would be what's keeping him from keeping him from getting wealth, I guess. But everyone thinks he's a Roottree, and well, they did. Why would he want to remove Robbie again? So she was also in Guys Like Us. What does this have to do with anything? Retired from Hollywood almost immediately after her co-starring role. Huntington's disease. They keep talking about a genetic disease. Is Huntington's genetic? Yeah, but it said like they were worried he was going to remove Robbie, his younger brother. Maybe because of going to French prison, I guess? I don't know. Is Huntington's genetic? It is? Okay. Is there something there? Oh, god damn it. Go back to what's her face. And also, would Wild Bill... Well, whatever. Maybe he was on... I don't know. Fuck. Where is it? Leslie Florence. Because why is this here? Huntington's. Neurodegenerative disease that most recognizably causes memory issues and uncontrollable movements in the limbs. After symptom onset, somewhere between age 30 and 50, those affected by Huntington's typically live another 15 to 18 years as their symptoms worsen. There is no cure. Passed genetically from parent to child, the gene that causes Huntington's works in such a way that if a parent has the disease, there's a 50-50 chance that their child will get it. Huntington's cannot be passed on recessively, meaning it cannot skip a generation. In other words, if someone has a mother or father with Huntington's, but they themselves did not receive it from that parent, their children and their grandchildren and so on will also never have it. Until the early 1990s, it was impossible to test for Huntington's. Instead, symptoms would usually appear later in life. This would often be after the person affected already had children. It would then be impossible to know if their children had it, as it was a 50-50 chance in 1993 due to determining which gene causes Huntington's. It did become possible to test children for it and know if the disease was passed on or not. For a variety of complex reasons, however, children are considered unable to consent to such a test and are therefore rarely tested unless they are showing early symptoms. Okay. That popped up. So where did I see that again? That because one of them, it mentioned like health issues. Fuck me. It's too hard to go around finding these things. Ah! It mentioned one of them. Which one, though? Which one? Ron and Business Watch. Okay, that's right. Business Watch, Ron. Where the fuck did I see it? You're doing great, thank you. Civic's over here like, you're doing great, sweetie. Okay, so the fact that they're mentioning that and then that lady had it, Leslie Florence, and it's... Okay, so there's the other... I feel like the other two smoking guns are gonna seal the deal. Remind me about this again. Who is she related to? Hold on. That's Ronald's wife. Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, shit! There it is! Comedian Penelope Tessa Green was part of a recent fundraiser at the Reno Comedy Club, the Laugh Lounge. About a month ago, the fundraiser was called The Best Medicine and was to help find a cure for Huntington's disease. Up until recently, I didn't know anything about Huntington's. In the last few months, I've gone from knowing nothing about it to learning more than any one person should ever have to. Until less than a decade ago, it's impossible to predict if someone this susceptible to Huntington's had the disease. Oh, snap. Yeah, that's where we found it. But it was like, that was the only thing, because it was in Leslie's article. And I'm like, what else does she have to do with anything? So I searched it, because it's genetic. Shit. Okay, so then Ronald's wife held a fundraiser for Huntington's disease. Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Okay. That doesn't really tell me much. I guess I can look up Wild Bill and Starlet again. Maybe that would say something that would suggest that maybe Wild Bill is not... Or Wild Bill was sleeping around also? I've seen what he gets up into a Starlet. Maybe? Blondes mostly. Okay. Divorce from Gwen. Okay, this is a repeat. Maybe looking him up in Starlet. Blonde smoke. Okay. Well, is Leslie Florence blonde? Doesn't say. I feel like that's a smoking gun. Can I look up like Leslie Florence in Starlet or like Gwen Roottree in Starlet, maybe? Nothing? Okay. Fine. I got a achievement on Steam. We found all the smoking guns. Okay, well. Alright. Time of her divorce, 1958, from Wild Bill Williams. The gossip is speculative and full of tabloid stereotypes. Announced her divorce. She also announced she was pregnant again. Other mentions that the rumor Wild Bill had multiple affairs. The power of a name is undeniable. My grandfather. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, let's play to learn. Okay, well. I don't know. Feels like a no to me, dog. Feels like a no to me. I feel like the Huntington's disease and the fact that they even put her the Leslie Florence even put her in there? That was like the only thing for me to look up because like nothing else was related. I think that's a strong case. Okay, well, what are the smoking guns here? Pretty much all the same. Oh, fuck. But we know she was pregnant when she divorced Wild Bill. We don't have anybody seeing her pregnant for Ronnie Boy. So he could be an actual root tree. I mean, yeah. It's all the same. It's all the same evidence. Brigante. Okay, so maybe. Okay, I feel pretty confident about Ronald, which makes me feel more confident about Robbie because we've seen her Brigante. People saw her Brigante. Many people saw her Brigante. She was in tabloids. Brigante. And she already, and Ronnie was already around when she was Brigante. We've seen her Brigante. Okay. Is there anybody we want to question? So I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good about these two. This one, I'm still kind of a bit, but I'm going to go with my gut on this one. This one feels murky. I kind of just want to blame Guy Hudson, but I don't know. Like, I kind of just want to blame him for everything. I don't know if it affects the game, really. I definitely feel confident about these two. I think these are twins. They are twins, right? So there'd be no... If one is related, the other one's got to be, right? They are twins, right? Right. Before we... It's just brothers. They aren't! Oh, no. Hold on. Crap, I thought they were twins. So never mind. I was freaking out about like two sets of twins. There was only one other set of twins. Oh, no. Robert is 3 years younger than James. Robert is 3 years younger than James. Oh my God. And they twisted their loaves. He might not be a root tree. I thought they were twins. My bad. And their evidence was the same. They twisted the loaves. And he was worried he wasn't going to be able to bake with her, but he could. He did bake with her. Oh, I'm changing my answer. I think you're not a root tree, baby. I'm so sorry, Robert. I don't think you're a root tree. Oh, I'm so glad I double checked. The one... Sorry, that was chaotic. I thought they were twins. If it's twins, they like if one is related, the other one has to be. Because, well, actually, I don't know. Let me not make that statement because I'm not an expert in biology. I don't know much biology, but these are not twins. So when she was already pregnant and she's like, "Oh fuck, this idiot got me pregnant." Then at that point, she goes and marries Steven. She was not with Guy Hudson anymore. He can't be a root tree. Ooh. Okay. Flick. Okay. All right. Still murky. I kind of want to, just for the bit. Not the loaves. I kind of just want to blame him. I'm feeling the call of the void. I'll come back to it. Okay. Feeling the call of the void. I'm also kind of questioning this one now too. Not that he's not, but almost just like impossible to prove. It's like because it's so old. How would they even prove it now anyway? You know what I mean? They can't. These kids are all alive to be able to prove, right? Like with DNA testing. We can't prove this unless they're going to have to go like all the way down the line here, and then it just muddies the waters more. You're saying that whole thing, so I had to clip it. So I don't know. Again, the game is kind of pedantic, which makes me want to turn this into like likely a root tree, but because this happened so long ago, it would be impossible to prove. Feel super confident about Stuart. Mark, I don't know. Mark, I also feel like impossible to prove. Although I'm confused by the inclusion of Tostarito. So it kind of makes me want to say like yes. Because then how did we get here? You know what I mean? I don't know. I want to change these two. I want to change Lucy Lang, and I want to change Mark. Okay, let's... Head, shut up. Gut, what are you saying? Heart, what are you saying? My intuition is pretty spot on most of the time. And yes, I realize this is a video game. And this is not real life, so it doesn't matter. It can't be impossible to prove. She's alive. We have DNA evidence. Ruby is just fucking shit up. The game is pedantic. It can't be impossible to prove. She is alive to prove it with a DNA test. I'm going with my gut. I don't know if he's still alive. Oh, he is. He's just in prison, right? Or whatever. The game just feels like super pedantic in the way that it's like the impossible to prove option only feels right for this way older timeline versus if they are alive, technically it can't be impossible to prove, right? Or am I overthinking it? It can't be impossible to prove. He's alive. He's alive to prove it with not Ruby Spratt doing the DNA test. Oh, I hope this. Okay, how do I lock it in? before I overthink it even more. How do I lock it in? How do I lock it in? How do I do I call somebody? How do I lock it in actually? Like, legit. What the heck? Look at this stuff floating. How do I lock it in? I can't. Can I turn to the door? Oh, I can. Can I call somebody? Hurry before I change my mind. I'm a textbook overthinker. Is there something on the board? Maybe. Maybe. Oh, I'm ready. Right here. Okay. Okay. Video game gods. Vicky's intuition. Don't let me down. My intuition has been so spot on, especially lately. Honestly, I've predicted quite a lot of things. Publicly, no, but in my own personal life, I have. I'm ready. Just tell me. Just tell me. Just tell me. But first. Oh, okay, yeah. We still never figured out 5 pieces, Dad. That kind of bugs me.
Beatrice and Courtney May. Clark, can you swing another test against Bonnie's DNA?
That's what I'm saying. An accurate DNA test.
This time I'll be sure to have them verify both samples in person.
Yes. Which means it is possible to prove. It's just whether I'm right or wrong. It is possible to prove. We just have to do the DNA test. So I could still be wrong. I've not moved from this spot in a week.
Using the family tree you filled out, as well as DNA tests, we were able to uncover the truth behind all the inconsistencies.
I'm so nervous. We've put so many hours into this. I'm so nervous. Okay, why am I nervous? Okay.
Clark's handling the business, but I've come to thank you and fill you in on everything we've learned. Buckle up, because it's been one heck of a week.
I need my, like, fidget cube. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Why am I nervous? It's just
Actually,
a game.
That's an understatement. It's not every week you discover your family company is being sabotaged by someone they trusted.
So Ruby was sabotaging. Okay, but it was kind of in an eat the rich way, so I can't be that mad at her. You know what I mean?
But that's the kind of time we've been having. Like I said, buckle up. Maybe grab some popcorn. We'll start with Guy Hudson.
She's gonna give us the full tea. Oh my god. Okay, is everybody ready? We're all virtually holding hands. Like, if you were all here in the room with me, I'd be, like, squeezing your hands so hard.
Guy had a frankly ridiculous number of potential children. What shocked me is how many graduated from potential to confirmed.
Spill the tea, Sam. Yeah, standing hand squeezes. Yep, I'm squeezing your hands virtually from across the internet waves.
We can even prove he was aware of them. The smoking gun was how he used company money to pay off a lot of women.
That he did. That he did.
He hid it with a method inspired by his idol, Elias. 5-piece flavors.
Yes!
The flavors he was paying to research were a ruse.
That's what I said about the Brazil. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Because that was like the only thing that made sense, because I didn't see anything else. It had to be him doing the research per month. He was paying off women. Does that mean I was right about Lucy Lang also?
He developed flavors based on the initials of the women he was paying. Which was really stupid, considering one of their names started with X.
Oh. Did not even clock that, which we should have, because the original flavors were after people's names. Oh my god. That's clever. I didn't think of that at all.
Let's start with Christine. Guy was paying her under the name Caviar.
That makes so much
But
sense.
there were some other clues. James was born 9 months after Zach's party.
Okay, I wasn't paying as much attention to the dates for some of them, so.
Christine was there with Guy, and when she got pregnant, she panicked.
Yep.
Steve stepped up.
Yes, he did.
He even turned it into one of his recipe stories.
Yeah, we figured that out. The metaphor was, like, clear as day.
Not all of Guy's affairs led to offspring. He may have slept with Robin Martin, but she didn't have children, so we'll never know.
True. Yeah.
Also, not every child of Guy's affair partners were his. Robert Garland was born after his parents had already moved to Boston.
Yeah! I'm so glad I went back to check if they were twins. Okay, okay.
Skipping Beatrice
Okay.
for now.
Confidence is
Up
up.
next
Don't let me
is
down.
Lang Xin-yu. When Guy showed up in China, she was into America. And Americans.
Uh-huh.
Dare I say redheads, even?
Oh, were the actors she was into redheads? Like Butch Cassidy? I didn't know that. If I'd have known that, that might have been a bigger clue.
When she got pregnant, her father paid key genes to fake IVF.
Robert
They
Redford was
claimed
a
her
redhead.
sister was unable to conceive.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That if I had known that, I think I would have been more confident for sure about that. Okay, so we show she got pregnant, and then the key genes covered it up. Yes, yes, yes.
But her sister and Jerry had their own son, Mark.
Yes, we know. Yes? Yes? I'm a detective. I'm a detective. The game is pedantic. The game is pedantic. It can't be impossible to prove if she's alive to prove it. So I had to just take a guess. And it just ends up being
Sonia
50-50.
Alves was soon after.
I guess.
Nia was married at a very young age to
Uh-huh.
a much older husband.
Yes. Disgusting and crazy.
She resented him.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her.
Me neither.
They allegedly spent no time together in private.
Oh, Robert Redford wasn't a redhead. Okay. I was going to say that'd be a crazy detail.
Guy was in Brazil during Christmas 1979.
Oh, that
It's
wasn't the
only
Christmas party.
Not in the records.
Oh, shit. Okay, so for this one, I think I stumbled into the right answer. I'll be completely honest. I did not clock that was a Christmas in Brazil. I thought that was the Root Tree Christmas party. But I think I went ass backwards into the right answer.
Flavio was born 9 months later. And like the others, Guy started paying Sonia.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. If I trip into the right answer, it's still the right answer. Show it to me. Yeah! Let's go. Let's go. Okay, come on.
Last was Susan Ford, hired to translate for Guy's overseas trips. It's easy to read into Guy's donation to her school, but there's no definitive proof there.
Oh no! There's no definitive proof. There has to be. There, you could do a DNA test.
She and Guy were witnessed together near the end of his life.
Yeah.
Susan's husband was
no.
convinced he couldn't be the father of her daughters. Guy, though, paid double.
Pay double!
Price of twins.
Oh my god, I should have been paying attention to that way more. Oh my god, it's like right there. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Are we gonna do it? We've gotten them all right so far. I noticed that she did not start with 5 Ps, and that's the one I'm really anticipating. I felt the strongest about that one.
So, what about 5 Ps? Felix Fellow's mother, Joanna, doesn't have a 5 pieces flavor. On top of
True.
that, his story doesn't really add up.
Right, it's a copy.
His mother already left the company by the time Guy became president, and his lyrics indicate he was born sometime around 1975.
Oh, I forgot about that. The like discrepancy of the year he was born.
Alone, that wouldn't necessarily prove it. But there are some suspicious connections between Felix and the company's current lawyer, Ruby Spratt.
Yes, my brain blast.
They both grew up in Portland in foster care. And according to the local paper, they definitely knew one another.
Yeah, they did.
Ruby was the one who approached the root trees to begin with. It was all a setup.
Ruby.
Ruby and Felix saw my book's challenge to the Clancet Trust as an opportunity.
Yep. And honestly, it was a kind of eat the rich opportunity, so I can't be 100% mad at them.
His mother really had worked for Root Tree, and Ruby was a respected lawyer.
Yeah. Oh, was? Oh, no.
She exploited my family's greed, worked her way into control of the trust, and ensured Felix got a piece. But they made some mistakes along the way.
Oh, I kind of inadvertently stopped a Eat the Rich plot. I don't know how I feel about that.
If you look at the 2 DNA tests that Ruby handled,
Oh, yeah.
they were both supposedly tested against Bonnie Hudson.
Right?
But the 2 signatures that should both represent Bonnie don't match. After Clark and I confronted her, Ruby lawyered up.
Oh.
Ironic, I know.
So we should have been paying attention to the alleged paternal aunt because they were supposed to be the same person. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, fair. I did not think of that.
We suspect Ruby had Donatico test Felix against his own mother's DNA.
Ah.
He had a hairbrush of hers. They sent the female sample in remotely.
Aha.
On the second test, Bonnie's sample was tested locally, but Courtney May's was not.
Aha.
Ruby's been throwing away samples. We think she sent her own hair instead of Courtney May's, but it could have been anyone's. Ruby and Felix were in cahoots.
Yeah, they were.
As for why, they were both advocates of wealth redistribution.
I can't be mad at them for that. I'm so sorry, Sam.
A noble effort. But once they controlled the family fortune, they became just as greedy as the worst members of my family. The money corrupted them.
Absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Of course.
They were so eager to personally wield the wealth for their own cause that they sabotaged any other claims.
Oh, I didn't think of that plot. Okay. So he's not. Oh, the brain blast was true. The brain blast was true. Okay, I feel,
That
all right.
finally brings us to Anonymom, a.k.a.
Anonymom.
Beatrice Watts.
Okay, I feel a little calmer
Her
now.
tales of guys, parties, and payoffs were true.
That was the only one I felt really passionate about. Okay, we're a little calmer.
She even approached Ruby before 5Ps was on news time.
Yep.
Ruby used Beatrice's truths to make Felix's lies feel real, then ruined the DNA test so that Beatrice looked phony in the public court of opinion.
Yep. Ruined her rep.
I feel worst for her in all of this.
So she is. That red hair, baby.
While Ruby and Felix stole the show, there were some other potential new family members as well.
Yes.
Miracle Root Tree was less of an open and shut case.
Okay. We can test them, though, so it can't be murky. It's all down to a 50-50 chance, essentially, I guess. And how well I paid attention to the clues.
That said, it's very likely he had a son with Mary Beth Clementine.
Oh, no. Okay.
Not Stuart. Mary Beth adopted
Stuart.
him before she ever set foot in Butler County.
Yeah, not Stuart. Sorry, Stuart. You get no money, Stuart.
That leaves Mark.
Mark.
The timeline fits.
It does. It does. She was pre-got.
He showed up about 9 months after Mary Beth visited Miracle. And the basket baby story is a bit too convenient.
Yes, it is.
If that's not enough on its own, he was also bailed out by the sister of Edith Roottree, Miracle Jr.'s wife, after she changed her name to win that silly contest.
It is funny, though. Okay, so it was Miracle's baby. I let myself be led by the Toasterito thing. So again, maybe fell ass backwards into the right answer?
Our best guess is that Mark was told by his mother whose son he was, and used that fact to put some pressure on Miracle Jr.
Aha.
We have no real proof of that, but
Okay.
nothing else really makes sense for why they'd be connected in that way.
Right. Okay, sure. But you can test the DNA, because he's alive. So. We are at 100% still, with 3 more to go. 100% accuracy.
Elias's affair was the most ambiguous.
Yeah, sure. Because it's old. You can't prove anything.
Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias to do things he wouldn't have otherwise done, like pressure to include me in the family.
Okay.
My son even mentioned them arguing about someone named Beth. Combined with Gwyneth's lisp, it's possible the name was actually Bess.
Right.
Unfortunately, all we know about Bess Williams is that she wrote his book and died not long after, leaving her only son an orphan.
And he did have a secretary named Elizabeth, though, also. So I guess she could have just been saying Beth? I guess? I don't know.
The timeline fits with Wildcat,
Yeah.
but there's no record if she had any other relationship.
Right.
Honestly, I wouldn't say we had enough evidence either way.
Oh, shit, because it's too old to prove, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if Elias cheated. Of course, I'm a bit biased. Regardless, we haven't gotten in touch with any of the Williams clan yet.
Oh. So I stumbled ass backwards into the answer again.
That means we haven't been able to do a DNA test. As Clark mentioned, from here on out, all of our DNA tests will be in person for both parties.
So, okay. Well, okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong. That they can prove it, I guess. Because they would be not 100% related if they tested it against. I don't know. Okay, so unclear, but not for the reasons I was thinking.
Lastly, we have a bit of a curveball. Ron Roottree isn't related to us by blood.
Holy shit.
Gwyn was definitely pregnant, so it's likely Robbie is.
We got the same answers from different clues. Like I did the work wrong and still somehow got the right answer.
When Ron and Robbie went to visit their mother at the end of her life, something changed. Additionally, there have been a few rumors circling around Ron. RR Productions canceled the Guys Like Us remake due to the director's illness.
That was pretty obvious, the fact that they put that clue about the one actress in there. That I wouldn't have figured that out otherwise.
At the same time, Ron's wife Penelope began doing benefits
Yeah.
for Huntington's disease, stating that she had become familiar with it. Huntington's is the same disease that Gwyn's former co-star Leslie Florence had. It's passed from parent to child. It can't skip a generation.
Yes. Yeah, I would have never figured that out if it weren't for them.
Because Gwyn and Wild Bill didn't have Huntington's, and Ron seems to, it's impossible Gwyn was his mother. I recently confirmed all this with Ron.
Oh, well, okay, you could have just done that in the first place, but all right.
At the end of her life,
Instead of
Gwyn
making me
told Ron
sweat.
the story. Leslie and Bill had an affair the same year Leslie learned she had Huntington's. Leslie got pregnant.
Oh, and then Gwyn raised the baby for Leslie because she was sick.
Leslie wasn't likely to survive to see her child grow up.
Oh,
And even if she did,
sad.
she didn't want to be a burden.
Damn.
She begged Gwyn and Wild Bill to adopt her child.
Aw.
Gwyn did. Mere weeks after she found out she was having her own son, she also took in Ron. Wild Bill was a problem. Unreliable and a serial adulterer. Gwyn divorced him and never saw him again. Gwyn had already told Starlet she was pregnant, so it never really made waves when people saw her with a child in Paris. There was gossip during her divorce when she was discovered to be pregnant again. In actuality, it was the final months of her only pregnancy.
Yeah.
To lay low, she stayed in Paris long enough that even her own family never had reason to question the timeline.
True. Raised her husband, shot by someone else. Yep.
It's one heck of a story, and frankly, nobody could be expected to piece the timeline together. Not with what few mentions of Gwyn's past have survived. But the Huntingtons itself? That's proof.
I think we got 100% A++, is what she's about to say. I think... Let's fucking go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's fucking go. I can't believe I stumbled into the right answer at the last second because I thought the game was pedantic. The clues were actually there. We just read them wrong. I'm saying I'm going to blame myself. I read them wrong or whatever. But I was thinking for different. Anyways.
Ron suing Robbie to remove him from the Clancid Trust was a huge moment in my story, and a major catalyst for this entire investigation.
Yeah.
Finding out that it's been pretty much backwards this whole time has been a bit surreal.
Yeah, we just won the fucking game,
So
gang.
that's where we're at. Looking over the information you sent us was invaluable.
You're fucking welcome. Because we nailed it.
You got everything absolutely correct.
That was a dick move by Ron, yeah. If we read the map wrong but still got to Carnegie Hall, it still counts. Hey, that's true.
Why did we even bother hiring a team? You figured it all out solo. All this information, this entire story, it's a lot.
Sounds like you should write another
in more
book.
ways than one. Some of it has the potential to destroy marriages and ruin relationships.
Okay, maybe don't then. Maybe don't.
We're handling it all very, very carefully. But we couldn't have gotten here without you. And with that, I guess our tale has finally, truly come to an end. What a strange one it was.
There's no more root trees.
No words can express how grateful I am to you for untangling this mess.
By the way, how much am I getting paid? Just ballpark.
Honestly, I've had enough of my family's eccentricities and scandals for one lifetime. I imagine you have as well.
Sure. Yeah.
And if not...
Oh, God. If not, what? No. No. Not if not. No, if not.
Well, there's always Elias's and Gwyneth's brothers and sisters.
I think we're good for a little bit, but thank you.
Attention, attention, root trees. This is 5-Piece coming at you from the real world.
I was gonna play the song.
The place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Root.
I didn't even call it at the end. I just said I would play it.
Sitting back in
That was
your
our only
massive
option. I would have
estates,
gone with the
built from
disco,
the cash that
but-
your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it based on your family's creations. Yo, but looky here, sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that Madsen chick and her two dads. My pappy's Clancid Trust should keep you away. Yo, it's disturbing catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners because we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name, you expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. How about instead, I turn my other cheeks and spread them. When you give me a kiss, you'll know.
Oh my god, I
just
forgot
where
to turn my
aim.
other cheeks and
You
spread them.
say money is the root of all your problems. Let me
Yeah, we got an A++.
take those problems away.
A++.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds, you're the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. So once more with passion, tell this poor tragic orphan how your mansions and
Oh, it's not
Porsches
gonna
are
tell us the
actually
poor soul
horrible.
that had to sing this song.
Grasping for morsels, I wanted my share.
That's actually extortion with your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets. The only streets you reppin' are Park Place and Boardwalk. Hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's.
Top off my pockets, please.
Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from
Could
me
I have
is
played
what
the-
he wants,
the-
right? You to live in poverty. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion, and I'll do it all legally. Class action, courtrooms, decorum. I'm way past your
I
fancy
was like, did I have the
ass
option to
dormant.
play the disco song? Because I wanted to play the disco song.
Let me take those problems away.
How much do we want to bet the female voice is Ruby?
It's the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away. You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Damn, that should have been the fucking clue. That like chorus. That should have sent us into a spiral immediately. Like, let me take that problem away. They were gonna take their money away. Clever. I hope it was worth it. Damn. Damn. Yeah, I hope whatever this new game is here, Incident at the Galley House, I hope this game is similar to this, or at least like at least just kind of like the searching and researching. Oh, thank you for the disco song. Because I really liked the searching, the researching. I feel like it's easy to overthink it though, which I'm gonna be honest, I think I did a little bit at the end and did the math wrong, but we still got the right answer. You know what I mean? Like I overthought so hard I circled back around to like the correct answer. Because now that I think about it, it's like, obviously they could test the one Elias's, like, they could test that DNA. But it was just that they hadn't contacted them yet. Which is kind of so silly, where it's just like, that one could be a question mark because we didn't contact them. But the more I thought about it when we were solving the other ones, that's why I was like, no, it has to just come down to, I guess, I either read the clues right or I didn't, and it's 50-50, but it can't be not solvable because they're alive to test it. Yeah. I know, I want this t-shirt. That's what I want. That's what we should get for, honestly, I need to contact these game developers, because that's what you should get if you get an A++ and you figure out everything. You should get a free t-shirt that says I'm a secret root tree. That's what I want. That's my form of payment. Okay, well, we finished the root trees. Hold on, I'm just pulling up my schedule here to see what I had in mind next. Next one should be a fun one. So I have planned Strange Horticulture. But yeah, Does This Offend You is on Friday, so we'll break for Friday for Does This Offend You for Goodnight Mommy versus Goodnight Mommy. And then we'll come back with Strange Horticulture. Yeah. It seems like very cozy, rainy, little creepy fun. So it should totally fit the vibe of like cozy game month. So that'll be next. And then Fall of Porcupine. Fall of Porcupine after that. And then we got delayed a little bit by the root trees. So I don't know if I'll get to Sunset Hills. That one will be, it'll start to get dicey because it's gonna butt right into me going to Texas for Fantastic Fest, at which point I won't be able to stream. So we'll see. We'll see if we can like finish Sunset Hills really fast, or I might just have to play something else that's a little bit shorter or something, to fill in those. Any more good boy questions? I'm happy to answer. Also, It Ends is amazing and worth looking out for. You said any more? Did you say somewhere something about the dog? Can you just DM me if the dog, just like dog lives, dog doesn't live? Oh wait, you did message me. Thank you. Okay, I saw it. Sorry, when I saw the notification earlier at work, like I just saw the end of it. Like where you said like it's all done tastefully, I thought. So I was like, I was at work and I was like, I don't know what he's referencing. And I was like, I'll look at it later. Okay, I see it. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. That is all I needed to know. Appreciate that. Was nervous. Okay. It's a cute pupper, but I think I'll skip it. We can give the spoiler if you want. Where are all my messages? There we go. But just in case, let me know, Kate. Let me know, Kate, and I can put it like as a spoiler or something in the Discord also, so anybody else can see, if they want. Okay, well, that was the Rue Trees Are Dead, and then ROOTTREEMANIA. Damn. Yeah. All right. So we'll see you Friday, not here, but on Emma's channel for Does This Offend You? And then we'll do more spooky games starting next week. Yay! I love cozy games. I'm kind of glad we rage quit so we can finish. Yeah. Imagine trying to come back to this weeks later. We would have failed so hard because we wouldn't have remembered anything. So I think this was the best, honestly. I agree with you. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern on Emma's channel. Good night, Mommy. ×2. Have a good night, you guys. Bye. Bye-bye. Normalized rage quitting, it paid off. Amen.